I've been meaning to go on a road trip for a while. Everyone's doing the North Coast 500, and we'll get to that, but I thought I had another good one in mind. The snow roads form a route that runs up through the Cairngorms National Park, taking in the UK's highest main road and offering up a fair chance of some snow. The route starts in Blairgowrie, just north of Perth, and the world's biggest beachhead. From there you take the A93 for Braemar and the King's Holiday Digs. It's an old military road built by General Wade in the 18th century in an effort to control the Highlands. There was just one problem. There wasn't much snow.
To be fair, I have actually been here in July and it didn't look any different.
But there was a pretty epic driving road, along with some pretty muted scenery.
It does kind of give Glencoe a run for its money. Admittedly, you might have to take my word for it just now.
Along the route, there's plenty to keep you entertained, whatever the weather. There are art installations, castles, distilleries, history, and a lot of scenery. I promise. The stretch of road over the Cairnwell Pass was once used for hill climb events to test out how good manufacturers' cars really were. The Little Up GTI can handle it though. In fact, it's a pretty decent travelling companion, in the absence of a human. I stopped at the Glenshe Ski Center, the biggest in the country, to find it pretty deserted, but they were still serving breakfast. They're planning on opening it up in the next few days, probably with the help of some man-made snow.
You kind of feel a little bit like you're on the moon, and it might not be snowy, but it's definitely cold up here. I'm guessing the wind chill's in the minus. I'm reliably informed that all the snow was literally rained off 2 days ago and disappeared. You can kind of tell if you look at all the streams down there. There's some pretty cool machinery up here though, just looking like it's hanging around waiting.
So I pressed on through a constantly changing view. It's always good to stop and stare once in a while though, especially when something catches your eye.
This is a stone with 1715 written on it. I'm not quite sure why. I'm guessing it's something to do with the 1715 Jacobite uprising, given the Jacobite guy on the stone. We'll look it up.
It's just a nice bit of decoration. I drove on past Braemar, home of the Highland Games, and Balmoral, summer home to his Charlesness. I took a left turn along the road to Tom and Toole, on the hunt for something a bit more festive. Just outside Aviemore, you'll find the Cairngorm Reindeer Center, home to the Cairngorm Reindeer Herd, the UK's only free-roaming herd of reindeer. There are about 150 of them, and the herd's been here since 1952. As a subarctic landscape, the Cairngorm Mountains are just about ideal for them. In fact, it's about the only place in the UK that is anymore. Reindeer were originally native to Scotland, but they were overhunted till they became extinct. The last record of them is from 800 years ago. And they really are free-ranging. When I was there, the centre had just had a phone call to say they'd turned up somewhere they shouldn't be, despite having 10,000 acres to call their own. In 1947, Mikkel Utsi, a Laplander, and his wife, Dr. Ethel Lindgren, visited the area on their honeymoon. Mikkel looked out across the landscape and wondered where all the reindeer were. They knew that the lichen they eat was plentiful, and the climate wasn't too bad for animals that can survive at -70. Most of the herd live up in the mountains, and if you have enough daylight left and you can find them, you can go and visit them up in their own environment. If you can't make it up there, there are always some in the centre. I think this might be my new favourite road.
I'll try and come back when it's snowing.
In the meantime, I'll be back on Wednesday with hopefully my normal voice and something a bit more ghostly.